There are two questions about passwords most organizations get wrong. One of them is, if you remove passwords from the user interface, have you actually removed them from your architecture? And the second, where does authentication really live in your enterprise? Is it in IAM, your ERP, your cloud identity platform, or anywhere else? Most companies don't know, and that's exactly why passwordless projects fail. In this video, we'll break down what passwordless really means, how it fits into your architecture, and why it's not just a feature, but a redesign of the trust model. Let's start.
Everyone wants to go passwordless, but what problem are we actually trying to solve?
In many enterprises, the initiative starts with technology selection, rather than problem definition. Typically, the real drivers are phishing risk exposure, operational cost of password resets, audit and regulatory pressure, or IAM complexity that one is accumulated over 15 or 20 years of operations. If we don't define whether we're reducing phishing risk, operational cost, or architecture dependency, we're not designing a transformation. We are deploying a feature. Passwordless must respond to a structural risk, not a trend.
If we remove passwords from the user interface, have we removed them from the architecture?
Not necessarily. If there is still a master password in a vault, a shared secret in the background, or a recoverable credential stored centrally, then the system remains password-based, only abstracted. True passwordless starts when the shared secret disappears. And that typically means a public key model, where no credentials can be replayed. No secret can be harvested and no password exists to reset. Hiding the password is not the same as eliminating it.
Where does authentication actually reside in a large enterprise architecture?
In theory, authentication sits in the IAM layer. In reality, it's fragmented across identity providers, reverse proxies, load balancers, on-prem Active Directory, cloud identity platforms, and enterprise systems like SAP. Authentication is often the cumulative result of 2 decades of architectural decisions. If you don't map where authentication actually happens, you don't know where to introduce passkeys. Passwordless cannot be inserted blindly. It must align with the trust boundary.
What does a phishing-resistant authentication architecture look like in practice?
Phishing resistance is not a marketing term. It's a cryptographic property, and it requires public-private key pairs, origin binding, no shared secrets, and no one-time password that can be intercepted or replayed. This fundamentally changes the attack surface. Instead of protecting a password, you eliminate the reusable credential altogether. Phishing-resistant authentication removes the economic incentive for credential harvesting.
Does implementing passwordless require rebuilding applications?
Not necessarily. If authentication is implemented at the identity boundary before the application layer, you can modernize without rewriting legacy systems. The mistake many organizations make is assuming that every application must change. In fact, in most cases, the transformation happens in the authentication layer, not inside SAP or legacy ERP systems.
When does passwordless simplify architecture, and when does it make it more complex?
It simplifies architecture when it replaces an existing authentication model. It reduces credential types or it consolidates control points. It increases complexity when it's layered on top of an existing MFA, legacy systems remain untouched, and there is no target architecture defined. Passwordless is powerful, but only when it replaces something. Transformation without decommissioning legacy controls leads to complexity, not simplification. Passwordless is not a user experience project. It is a trust model redesign, and trust model redesign is always an architectural decision.